Motherhood has been, honestly, the best thing that has ever happened to me. It's the most exhausting, but the most exhilarating experience a woman can have. I guess a man too, but hey, we're the ones who carry the baby for 9 months. so we know what being tired is. One thing which I have learned is this. A child, regardless of how that child was conceived, is a blessing. Okay? Now, let the child live, first of all. Secondly, try and create as comfortable a setting, a home for that child. Because one thing that makes me cry is moms who are struggling. I mean, there's so much struggle going on out there. It's not easy. It's tiring. So I'm imagining the people who are doing it alone. That goes for single fathers as well. Let's just take a step back, try and put ourselves in their shoes and just let it be and just help them out as much as possible. Because at the end of the day, that child is the one who is going to be a product of whatever setting you allow it to grow up in. And we have a lot of children who are messed up right now. Too many children. I actually, that's one of the things that makes me fear for future generations, because you know that there are kids behaving psychotically out there. And when you do studies, when you look at the statistics, it's because they come from broken, dysfunctional families. Let's remember how we grew up. We grew up traditionally, what? As a community. The community takes care of the child. Okay? Let's continue doing that. Okay? We need to assume that responsibility again and bring up our children the way they're supposed to be. There is a lot of accessibility to information behind our backs as parents. We don't know what's going on in school. We don't know what's going on in the neighbor's house. When most of us now have the tablets or iPads, phones, and it's easy for a child to say, let me look at photos on your phone. But you forget to switch off the internet. And so when they're there, you know, they can access other websites. It's just too easy for them to get this kind of information. I hear horrific stories from parents in some schools whereby exchanging pornographic DVDs is the norm. We're talking about children who are less than 10 years old. I have already said it can get very tiring bringing up a child, okay? Because they have their demands, but they are dependent on us fully. And we also have our things that we want to do personally, professionally, and all that. But the fact is, we brought this child into the world. We must be responsible for that child until they move out, until they are of an age where you are sure that they are okay on their own. So, parents, the fact is this. You must spend time with your children. You must give them that time whereby they gain enough trust in you to be able to say, mommy, guess what I saw in school today? You should be able to have a conversation. Kids are maturing at a much faster rate than when we were growing up. So right now you can have an almost adult conversation with a child who's less than 10 years old. It's crazy, okay? But it's necessary. And that child, by having that conversation with you, is going to gain the trust and realize that you respect the child. It's not about the child only respecting you. You must also reciprocate that. And once that line of communication is open, you'll be amazed at the things that you will discover which are going on out there. Do not leave child upbringing to nannies. Get the best nanny you can, that's great. You must not leave. The child is yours. Take responsibility. Stop saying, oh no, but everything I'm doing out there, trying to make as much money as possible, is for my family. Oh my goodness, that excuse has been used by so many people. Do you know how many families living in leafy suburbs have seriously dysfunctional families and children who have decided to take their own lives because they're just messed up, because they didn't get the level of attention that they needed? You might have heard that it's ironical that it seems some of the happiest families are the poorer ones. You know, because in those families, there's time that is given. They come together. They realize, look, we have a little, we need to share it out. Let's come together and share it out at the meal table.